Hey lovely people! Since you clicked on this video, I guess you are working on an art journal or sketchbook and you are trying to find out how to fill it. So here's a few tips that are very easy, very suitable for beginners on how you can fill your art journal or sketchbook. Let's go! My first idea is to go to a hardware store and get those paint chips. You can get them probably anywhere and they don't cost you anything. And you can just glue those in, or you can do it like I did and create something with it or besides it. You can either just use those paint scraps you get, or you can just swatch colors that you have. Maybe if you get a new watercolor palette or just any new art supply, then you can make swatches of those. And in this case, on this page, I did a swatch beside a swatch, kind of. But I really didn't swatch any colors that are in the palette, but I made my own colors. I tried to mix several blues and greens and pink tones, everything that's around a blue shade, and I wanted to put them together, something like a mosaic. And yeah, that's what I came up with. You can fill page after page with that. But that's probably a very good idea for the first page of a sketchbook or any art journal. By the way, let me know if you want to see a video on what to do with the first page of your sketchbook, because I'd really love to do that because I'm starting a new sketchbook very soon and I could do that for you. That's the finished page. It's very simple and you can do this beside any illustration or collage or whatever you have. The next one is to try out hand lettering or just put a quote on some scrapbook paper. Use the scrapbook paper as a background and then put something on top of it. You can either cut out some quotes from a magazine or, like I did, try out some hand lettering. I'm really bad at it because I've never practiced it before, but I have this book on hand lettering and I took some inspiration from it. And also I used the page thefont.com where I got those someone smiles letters and I tried to copy them and also make it my thing as well. I have to practice that a lot more until I can say that I have mastered hand lettering. But I tried my best and it's a fun activity to do in your art journal or sketchbook to just try something new and something you've maybe never tried before. And of course I messed up and yeah, I covered it with some opaque white gouache and I put it on the left side and of course I put my hand into it. Why am I this stupid? I don't know. Okay, let's not talk about it anymore. And then once I was done with it, I cut it out to glue it onto my page. And here you see me gluing down the scrapbook paper. That just made my life a whole lot easier. But you can draw a background or you could just color the page in with one color and then put the quote on top of it. And because I thought that the quote didn't stand out as much as I wanted it to, I used some pencil and also some chalk pastel to make it stand out a little bit more. And to connect the pages better together so that the glue wouldn't come off of the scrapbook paper, I also used some washi tape in the middle of the page. That's totally optional, I just did it for security and I think that it looks quite nice and it fits the page. So here you see me spreading out the chalk pastel. I don't know if I like it better than before, probably because it stands out a lot more, but it's also kind of messy, but it's a fun thing you can do once in a while if you have chalk pastels. And Then on to the next one. For that one, I used my compass. You could also use any type of round object, and I just made a pattern that I could follow in the next step with my markers. I just did dots and some doodles, and yeah, it was a fun activity. It's really, really easy and it looks great afterwards. It looks like you put a ton of planning into that, but it's really easy. It gets very symmetrical, although you just used your compass and you didn't have to measure anything or plan it ahead. It just gets beautiful on its own. For that one, I used my markers from IKEA. I really love those, by the way. I did a review last week, so you can watch that if you want to. They are not that expensive, really affordable, and I just love them for things like that. I also just used colors that would fit the other page so that those would go together quite nicely. I always do that in my sketchbook or art journal. And then once you're done, you have this beautiful piece that was really, really easy to make. To the next one, I'm using my Canson mixed media sketchbook. I recommend using something with a little sturdier paper for that one because we're using acrylic paint. And this one is really, really, really easy. You just paint a background for anything. In my case, it was an underwater theme, so I drew an underwater landscape. And by the way, I'm really bad at acrylics because I haven't used them a lot before and I don't know what I'm doing. But you don't have to. It doesn't have to look that great for this one. It's really suitable for beginners. You can do whatever you want. You could also just draw a pattern. It doesn't even have to be a scenery. I just drew a very simple scenery. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the next step will turn this into a masterpiece. Or at least that's what I'm calling it. Now to the fun part. We are using stickers. That's my sticker collection, and of course I have this. I'm 22 and I collect stickers. Totally normal. And here I'm using stickers that I bought at Michael's when I was in New York, because we don't have Michael's here, and oh my god, it was heaven on earth. And I have those underwater animal stickers and I'm using them here, and that really gives the painting something that looks great. So you don't have to know how to draw, how to do art for that one. It's just a fun activity. And you don't have to do underwater theme. You could do jungle, you could do Disney, you could do whatever stickers you have. Whatever kinds of stickers you have at home or can find cheap anywhere, you could use those and do a landscape with those, or just a pattern background. It's really up to you. It's super easy, and yeah. Now the most satisfying part, I'm removing the tape. And you can see that it really looks kind of like an art piece. It looks quite okay. And the next one is the easiest one. Just look for old newspapers, old magazines that have pictures and graphics in them, and cut out everything that you like. Here you can see that I cut out a lot of things. I mostly cut them out at once, and then I have a collection, and whenever I feel like doing a collage, then I'm looking into my treasures and I will search for the ones that fit together and do a collage. I just love doing those. It's so relaxing and you can watch anything while doing that. I watch Netflix or listen to podcasts or audiobooks, and it's just a fun activity. I also use some washi tape. And when I'm done and I feel like the background lacks some color, I will use colored pencils to just color in the background. That looks quite nice and it's very simple, and I guess everyone has colored pencils or something like that at home. I really like the page because it's so colorful and it just makes me happy. I really hope you liked that video, and if you did so, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing for more videos like that. It means a lot to me. I wish you a very nice day, and until next time, goodbye!